My whole life changed when I realized this one simple truth. Besides death, all failure is psychological. Back when I was 19 and I was doing my engineering degree, I remember so clearly, if I get into personal training, what if I fail? I remember launching my first startup when I was, I think, 17 or 18, and the first thought that came into my head was, what if I fail? Doing our first meetup outside and thinking to myself, what if no one shows up? I remember doing our first live class during lockdown 5 years ago and thinking, what if no one shows up? I remember launching our first small gym and thinking, what if my clients don't like it? I remember launching my first arts gym with Kira. What if this doesn't work? We've actually got a long-term investment now. I then remember upgrading one of the oldest, most decrepit buildings in Bath, taking 2 years, hundreds of thousands of pounds, and saying to myself the same thing again and again and again. I remember hiring my first employee. I remember hiring my 20th employee. I remember all of these events, all of these things, and most recently, yesterday, I did my first ever live session. It was called PB Day. It's over at skool.com/Cali. If you guys want to join, it's free. 30-day home strength challenge. It's pretty cool. Guess what? No one showed up. At least for the first 20 minutes, and someone showed up 20 minutes in, which was cool. Nowadays, I've kind of mostly removed the fear of failure, but it shows up in different ways. It shows up in ways of, I'll just do it next week. Or, it's not even that important, I won't do it. It usually comes in the form of procrastination. In this video, I wanted to explain my view on failure, what's helped me over the years, and how maybe you could benefit too from just saying, fuck failure. Number one, this is a quote from Jocko Willink. Besides death, all failure is psychological. When you think about that, that is so true. And even death isn't failure. When you look at an item, there is no such thing as seeing something in isolation. You look at the price of something compared to what other products in that category are cost. It's the same thing with failure. The things that you do, you compare to everything else around you to determine it as a failure. So what we do is we are the only ones that determine if something is a success or a failure. Like I could say, there are many people that come to me, friends, gym members, people that I know, who are depressed, they're low, they're anxious, they're just having a bad time. The first thing they say to me is, Ollie, I hate myself. Like, I'm just a failure. And I say to them, like, you're talking to me right now, yeah? Okay, that means that you got out of bed. Okay, did you make your bed? No, okay. Did you, ruin your bed? No, okay, that's a success. Did you make a coffee this morning? Great, you made a coffee. Did you talk to someone today? Okay, cool. Did you go to the toilet? Okay, look at all these things that we can be grateful for. Look at all these things that you've done rather than just sitting at home doing nothing all day long. And even then, I promise you, I'll still find things for you to be grateful for and things for you to be proud of yourself for. It's all about what we compare ourselves to. Motivation is the equal opposite of deprivation, and deprivation comes from a perceived lack, and a perceived lack comes from your environment and who you compare yourself to, and we all know that comparison is the thief of joy. But on that same note, if you want to feel better, blame someone else. If you want to get better, blame yourself. But there's two levels to this stuff. The thing is, with the besides death, all failure is psychological. I'll prove it to you. Steve Jobs said that the only way you can truly connect the dots is looking backwards, and that quote came from him talking about his calligraphy classes and the random things that his passion took him to do. And only now, looking back in hindsight, can he connect the dots and actually see how that led to the perfect ingredients to go into the cauldron to create Apple and to create Steve Jobs. Now, it's the exact same thing for you. Everything that you have done has led you to this moment, right? Everything that you've done. How many things have happened to you in your life where in the moment it felt horrible? You were crying, it felt like the end of the world. But in hindsight, it was actually a really good thing for you. And the example of this for me is when I was starting out my PT career, I had a garage gym. And in my garage gym, I had a sauna and an ice bath. And that obviously consumed a lot of electric. And one day, my landlord rocks up to the front of my house with the garage opposite behind me, almost like looming behind him. And he said, "Why is your electric bill 10 times higher than any other garage on the lot?" And as I was about to explain, he said, "I think you're growing weed and I want you out." Lo and behold, I went back into my room, I curled up in a ball and I started crying and I said, "This is the end of my career, it's all over, everything's gonna go to shit." Then I pulled my finger out my ass and I realised that, hey, okay, I may as well go and remove all the stuff in the garage. I'm not gonna fucking stop here. So I went to him, his office was just around the corner. I said, "Hey, look, I'll get rid of all the stuff, I'm sorry, but I still want the garage." And he was like, "Fine, get rid of all your PT stuff, never PT there again." He said, "Never PT there again." Long story short, Kira and I, we converted that into a woodworking facility. We then started selling equipment and parallettes all around the world, and that is the start of Cali Unity. It would not have started if it wasn't for that moment. And so the only way that you can truly know if something is good or bad is in reflection. And the only way to have a true reflection point is on your deathbed, when you can hindsight all of it. And by that point, it doesn't matter. And so actually, you realize that nothing is good or bad, only thinking makes it so. But even better, let's go another layer up. What if this thing, this bad thing that happened to you, what would it take for it to become the best thing that ever happened to you? And that is what I believe is our power as human beings. We have the ability to see things, to see things that could be interpreted as bad, and we have the ability to interpret them as good. The title of the video, Fail, I Dare You. If I'm not failing, I'm simply not trying hard enough. I would rather be the soldier in the Colosseum, broken and battered and ruined, and not succeeding, than the person that just got handed it on a silver platter. And it's like the guys that take steroids. I've never taken steroids. I've never done drugs. I don't drink alcohol. I've never done weed. I've never done any of it. But even when it comes to steroids, I've never tried it. Because for me, it's just cheating. Like, what are we doing here? Right? I train because I want to feel better in myself. It's the psychological for me. It's that I don't want to do a thing, and then I did it. And the physical embodiment of doing that is the strongest training signal for my brain. And when I look in the mirror, and when I do the things that I do, I know that I did that, not the steroid. And so why would I ever take a steroid to do that? And it actually sums up my life philosophy, which is that achievement doesn't mean shit. Like getting something, who cares? It's the journey. It's how you feel about yourself. It's how when you look at yourself in the mirror, not what looks back physically, it's who looks you back in the eye. And for me, failing, getting up, doing it again, attempt number 1, attempt number 2, attempt number 3, that is where it's at. Failure is where the muscle grows in strength training. The moral of this whole video, and I think, again, like I said, these videos are usually just lessons to myself. And this was prevalent to me because yesterday I did a live webinar, 1 person showed up. Hey, that's better than 0. The only reason why it could be deemed as a failure is because my expectation was that 10, 20 people were going to show up. But actually, when I think about it, I've done no advertising, I've done no marketing, I haven't told barely anyone about it, the link was probably wrong, and also we're not even launching the thing until 15 days from now. Right? And still, 1 person showed up. What an amazing win. And so I challenge you. I challenge you to fail. I challenge you to fail miserably. As Naval says, the only failure is death or maybe prison. And how many people have changed their lives through prison? How many people, after they died, changed the world with their books and their lessons? I say this to myself all the time. I don't know what I want. I do not know what's good for me. I think directionally I do, but all you can do is try your best and surf the wave of life, because we don't have as much control as you think. How naive is it to think that you failing isn't a good thing for you? It's almost arrogant. We don't know what's good for us. We don't know what's good for us. All we can do is try and do the next thing. If we were to isolate this idea of failure, it usually comes from one source, and I'll work it through with you. Okay, you fail. What happens? Play out. Like literally, what happens? Let's say for me, okay, the gym fails. We have to close it down. Okay, which means we have to go back to the UK, and we have to go and talk to all of our coaches and all of our members saying that we have to close it down. Okay, I have to go to the landlord, the owner, and say, hey, we're closing this down. Okay, painful, 100%. We don't lose any money, really, right? We go to them and we say, sorry, we're going to have to do this thing. And then Kira and I go and get jobs. We go and get full-time jobs. Maybe we get that passion and drive back again to do something else. And then we go and live our life as we were. So yeah, we will do everything possible to make sure the gym succeeds and doesn't fail. But if it does, then okay. And I think when you have that mindset is when things won't fail, because you're okay with it not, and so you live with abundance. You live in a state of, okay, I'm going to do my best. And so play out your failure. Play it out. What's that one voice in your head who is saying to you, who's going to judge you when you fail? It's not going to be you. Who's that one voice in your head? Maybe it's your mum. Maybe it's your sister. Maybe it's your partner. Play it out. What do they say? And then realize that most people at your funeral are going to be worried about what food they're going to be eating. Most people at your funeral are going to want to go to the toilet and leave. The only person that matters in your life is you, your interpretation of you. And really, to leave the video on this, the only true failure is never trying.